Let's take a look at an Axe FX 3 preset that I made. I've dubbed this one lovingly the Underdogs because they're based around 8 different high gain amps that I feel like should get more love because they sound incredible, and I'm also very guilty of ignoring these amps myself, which is why I started making the preset, because I wanted to be able to dial these guys up at will really easily. I'm really guilty of just like sticking to, a rectifier or a Mark series or, one of the Friedmans or the Atomica or something like that when I'm shaping tones. And, that's a great thing about the Axe because these things sound so good straight out of the box. You can spend less time tweaking and more time playing, which is always a good thing. However, there's so many amp models, and if you've ever seen the wish list section of the forum, you see that people are always asking for new high gain amps, like, the Rev Generator or the Archon or the 80A MP1, which would be totally awesome to have, by the way. But there's all these other amps in there that a lot of people just maybe haven't checked out or don't know how to dial in. So this preset is going to look at 8 of my favorite underrated high gain amps. Let's have a listen. Scene 1 is based around the Cornfed model, which is a model of the British-made Cornfed MK50. This amp actually sounds really similar to my Soldano Hot Rod 50 Plus, and I've set it accordingly. It's kind of like a really nice cross between a high-gain Marshall and a Mesa sort of sound. So you can hear there, it's got more of that sort of Marshall mid-range going on, but it does have the low-end chunk of the Mesa. Scene 2 is based around the Carolan Takana. I've been really lucky to borrow the real-world version of this amp, and if you've seen my video comparison between, at the time I had the AX8, which I still have, and I compared it to the Takana, and the modeling that Fractal have got of that amp is like dead on no matter where you set it. So this to me is like I guess a modern take on a classic Marshall kind of thing. It's not quite as chunky as the previous scene. It's probably the most like classic rock amp in this whole preset, but this is what it sounds like. So that is scene 2. Scene 3 might be my absolute favorite in the whole preset. This is based around the Splawn Quick Rod. So this is a modified hot rodded Marshall kind of thing, and I would say the Friedmans are probably the most popular hot rod Marshall circuit in the Axe FX. So this is essentially a cool variation on the Friedman thing. I'll play it first without the boost, and then I will kick the boost in. That's with a little bit of delay there, or you can kick in the multi-delay instead. That is just absolutely glorious. All right, let's move on while I'm stomping around down here to scene 4. This is the orange Rockaverb. I've paired this up with the option to put a fuzz on the drive pedal, so we'll hear it without the fuzz and then with it. cool for like a stoner kind of thing. Scene 5 is the Cameron CCV. I love the Cameron Atomica. This is kind of like a riff on the same thing. One thing I really like about this amp is you can push the master volume hard with this, and this is, I guess, the like brown sound equivalent in this preset. I'm not claiming it sounds like Eddie Van Halen or anything, but this is the one that I guess has the most of that kind of squishy, old school Marshall vibe, and again, it's great with the boost in front of it. Scene 6 is the FAS Modern 3. This isn't based on a real-world amp. It's kind of an idealized version of a monster high-gain head. To me, this sounds like the best of both worlds between a rectifier with the huge low end and a 5150 with the kind of pick attack and stuff like that. So this is what it sounds like. It's got that squanch thing going on down there. Let's have a listen to Scene 7. Scene 7 is based around the Fryette or VHT Deliverance. This one, it's just got so much gain. It's like an absolute buzzsaw. This one works really, really well if you have to cut through a super dense mix on its own. It sounds a bit fizzy in comparison to the other amps, but yeah, this is super cool. And to round things out, we're going to have a listen to the Engel Savage. This isn't really an underrated amp, but I think it just rounds the preset out really nicely. We'll hear it without the boost and then with the boost. So much gain, so much goodness. This preset comes packaged together with an IR that I made, actually of a cab with greenbacks, and I think it works really, really well. There's a wire in the preset and a few time-based effects, as we heard there. Preset is in the video description. If you guys dig it, tell your mates, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching me noodle around and butcher a bunch of metal riffs.